You know, I've been there, man. You finally make that tough call to walk away from her. Maybe it was because things just weren't working, or maybe she didn't see your worth. Whatever the reason, you step back and then you're left wondering, what's she thinking right now? It's such a strange feeling, right? Because walking away takes guts, especially when you've put your heart into it. And I know what you're probably thinking. Does she even care? Is she sitting there feeling like she made a mistake? Or is she just moving on like I never mattered? That's what I want to unpack with you today. What's going on in her head when you walk away? And not just in that first moment, but after a week, a month, when time starts to pass. Spoiler alert, it's not as straightforward as you might think. There are stages to it, and how she feels will shift over time. It's not just about her thoughts. Walking away is as much about what it does for you. So, let's break this down together. What's she really thinking and feeling? And how does stepping away start to change you for the better? Let's dive in. Part 1. The immediate reaction. When you first walk away, their initial thoughts often revolve around two key ideas: confidence and disbelief. First, there's this quiet whisper in their mind. They'll be back. Think of this as their ego's defense mechanism, a way to shield themselves from the sting of rejection. If you've been chasing them, pleading for their attention, or trying to fix the relationship, they might have become accustomed to that dynamic. It's like the character Daisy in The Great Gatsby, who basked in Gatsby's obsessive adoration. When you step away, they're certain it's temporary, because to them, you're part of their world. But here's the twist. Even if they consciously think they're above it all, the silence you leave behind starts gnawing at them. The absence of your energy creates an echo. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance, when their expectations clash with reality. And believe me, that dissonance can be deafening. Now let's add a layer to this. Part 2. Time heals, or reveals. As days turn into weeks and weeks into months, their thoughts begin to shift. Let's say a month has passed. At this point, you've gone silent, steadfast in your decision. That's when confusion begins to creep in. Think of this as the absence paradox. In Gabriel Garcia Marquez's Love in the Time of Cholera, Fermina leaves Florentino, believing she's moved on. Yet, her absence plants a seed of curiosity and longing in him, one that grows over decades. Similarly, your absence forces them to confront a reality without you, and it's not as comfortable as they thought. Here's where it gets interesting. They start to feel the void you've left. They begin questioning their desirability, their worth, and even their past decisions. Their ego, once inflated by your attention, starts deflating. This is when some might try subtle ways to check in on you, watching your Instagram stories, liking old photos, or even sending a casual "how are you" text. Part 3. The turning point. When you thrive. Now imagine this. Not only have you walked away, but you've started to flourish. You're leveling up, hitting the gym, excelling in your career, pursuing passions that light you up. This is your phoenix moment, where you rise from the ashes of the old you. This is the part that truly catches them off guard. Remember Jay Gatsby's transformation? He wasn't just chasing Daisy, he was building an empire, becoming someone so magnetic she couldn't ignore him. When you thrive post-breakup, it's a testament to your resilience. It sends a powerful message. I'm not defined by you. I'm defined by my journey. For the person you walked away from, this can be a profound shock. They may think, wait, were they always this amazing and I just didn't see it? Your success disrupts the narrative they had in their mind, that you'd crumble without them. Here's a story to illustrate this. In Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist, Santiago learns that his treasure isn't at the far ends of the world, but within himself. Similarly, your journey of self-discovery and growth makes you realize that your worth isn't tied to anyone else, and when they see you thriving, it's like a mirror reflecting their missed opportunities. Part 4. Taking back your power. When you walk away, something powerful happens. You reclaim your energy. Think about it. When you were trying to make things work, pleading, or waiting for their validation, your energy was tied up in them. They were like a siphon, constantly pulling from your emotional well. But when you pull back, you create an energy shift. It's as if you've drawn an invisible line that says, no more. And let me tell you, that energy shift is palpable. they can feel it. Suddenly the texts stop, the calls end, and the connection they took for granted disappears. It's like when a radio station goes silent, you notice the absence immediately. Here's the fascinating part. That shift in energy doesn't just change how they see you, it changes how you see yourself. You stop defining your worth by their reactions or lack thereof. You start realizing that your time, attention, and love are valuable currencies, and not everyone gets access to them. This is your first step into a place of empowerment. Part 5. Why they can't stop checking your social media. Let's shift gears a bit and talk about something you've probably noticed: social media stalking. Maybe it's subtle. They start viewing your Instagram stories, liking your posts, or even following you again. Why do they do this? It's called social proof. When they see you living your best life, laughing with friends, achieving your goals, or posting that killer photo, it sends a message. You're doing just fine without them, and that stirs something deep within them. Humans are wired to value what others value. When they see you shining and others engaging with you, whether it's likes, comments, or even a new relationship, it challenges their perception. They begin to wonder, did I make a mistake? Was I blind to their worth? Here's where you have the power to control the narrative. Share your growth authentically, not to spite them, but to celebrate yourself. Because trust me, people can feel the difference between someone thriving genuinely and someone trying to prove a point. And when your joy is real, it's magnetic. Part 6. The closure you give yourself. Here's something most people overlook. Closure doesn't come from them, it comes from you. Walking away gives you the opportunity to rewrite your story. Instead of waiting for an apology, an explanation, or some grand gesture, you take the pen back into your own hands. Think of it like the ending of a novel. In Little Women, Jo March doesn't end up with the person everyone expects. She chooses a path true to herself, breaking conventional expectations. Your life is your story, and walking away is your chance to write an ending where you're the hero. What does closure look like? It's deciding that their thoughts, feelings, or actions no longer dictate your self-worth. It's finding peace in knowing that you gave your best and walking forward without looking back. Part 7. They reach out, but you've moved on. Finally, let's address the possibility that they might reach out one day. Maybe it's an apology. Maybe it's a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" And while that moment might feel validating, it's important to ask yourself, do I really want to open that door again? Here's the truth. By the time they come back, you may have outgrown them. You'll see them through a new lens, not with bitterness, but with clarity. They're no longer the center of your world. They're a lesson you've learned and moved on from. This reminds me of a quote from Maya Angelou. "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." Walking away isn't just about ending a relationship. It's about beginning a new chapter where you're stronger, wiser, and unapologetically yourself. Lastly, walking away isn't just about ending something, it's about starting fresh. It's about putting yourself first, finding your strength, and making space for better things in your life. You're not leaving them behind. You're moving toward peace, happiness, and self-respect. And that's a journey worth taking. No matter what they think or do, the real win is how far you've come and the person you're becoming. So keep going, stay strong, and remember, you've got this.